Today I want to talk about something that affects millions around the world, but often remains misunderstood: the stigma around dementia. It's a significant barrier, not just for individuals with dementia, but also for their families and caregivers. Let's dive into the different types of stigma and why it's so important for us to understand and address them. First, what is dementia stigma? Dementia stigma is often intertwined with age stigma. Many of the negative beliefs about dementia are rooted in broader societal attitudes towards aging. This means that older adults in general may be unfairly viewed as frail or incapable, which can exacerbate the stigma faced by those with actual dementia. Dementia stigma refers to the negative stereotypes, prejudices, and discrimination faced by those living with dementia and their caregivers as well. It impacts everything from delaying diagnosis to limiting support, and it comes in many forms. Let's break down the different types of dementia stigma. Public stigma. This is the most visible type of stigma. It's when the general public, including even healthcare professionals, harbor prejudices against people with dementia. This kind of stigma leads to social avoidance and discriminatory behavior. It makes it harder for individuals to live fulfilling lives, often pushing them away from social spaces where they should feel welcome. Self-stigma. Imagine knowing that the world sees you through a negative lens, and then taking on those views yourself. Self-stigma is when individuals with dementia internalize these societal beliefs, leading to feelings of shame and withdrawal. This self-imposed stigma can prevent people from seeking the help they need. It reduces their quality of life and isolates them from loved ones who genuinely want to support them. Courtesy stigma. The stigma doesn't just affect those with dementia. Family members, friends, and caregivers also face judgment simply for being associated with someone with that condition. Courtesy stigma can discourage family members from openly supporting their loved ones, and caregivers might avoid discussing their situations to prevent facing backlash, leading to even greater isolation. Affiliate stigma. Similar to self-stigma, affiliate stigma affects those close to the person with dementia. This means caregivers or family members may internalize the same negative stereotypes, leading them to feel ashamed. This can create a cycle where caregivers are reluctant to seek support, even though they may need it now more than ever. Structural stigma. This is stigma on an institutional level. It happens when laws, policies, and practices discriminate against people with dementia. This kind of stigma manifests in many forms: limited access to healthcare, discriminatory policies, and a lack of proper training for healthcare professionals in dementia care. It means that systemic barriers prevent individuals from getting the support they deserve. Why is it crucial to understand these types of stigma? The consequences of stigma are real. It leads us to delay diagnosis because people fear the label. It pushes families and individuals into isolation, creating an unnecessary barrier to seeking help and finding community. It even influences the quality of care available, with systemic shortcomings keeping necessary resources out of reach. But understanding stigma is the first step to dismantling it. By educating ourselves, advocating for those affected, and supporting inclusive policies, we can shift the narrative around dementia. We can create a world where individuals with dementia and their families feel empowered rather than marginalized. Together, we can fight dementia stigma. Whether it's by challenging negative stereotypes, building an ally to those with dementia, or supporting research, every action counts. It's time we change the way we look at dementia and instead foster understanding, compassion, and inclusion. Thanks for joining me in this conversation. Remember, understanding and empathy are our strongest tools in breaking down these barriers. Let's keep pushing for a future where stigma no longer stands in the way of care and support for those who need it. If you're ready to take action and be part of an incredible movement, check out SeniorThrive. We're all about active aging, empowerment, and living life to the fullest. Together, we can support individuals with dementia and their families to not just cope, but thrive at home with dignity, joy, and a sense of purpose. Let's make aging awesome. We are stronger when we thrive together. Thank you.